Hi there, Sunday Rocks. It's really good to be with you. I hope that you've had a fantastic half term and that you've had lots of great time at home and you've been able to just relax and do the things that you like doing. Well, today's story is going to be about a time when Jesus calmed the storm. We know, don't we, that Jesus lived in a place that was quite close to the sea. Some of his followers and his friends were fishermen, and going out in boats was quite normal to them. And the Bible tells us that one day Jesus went out in the boat with his friends. He'd told them to take the boat out, and he'd got into the boat and gone with them. Now, Lake Galilee, which is the sea that they'd gone out on, is really, really big. And it's very easy to start out on your boat when the weather is really quite nice. But sometimes by the time you get out towards the middle, the waves really start to come up. And the kind of boat that Jesus had was sort of a wooden one. I've been in a boat on Lake Galilee, in a wooden boat, and it really does go up and down, and that was when there wasn't much of a storm. So Jesus and his friends were out on the lake. And Jesus was really quite tired. We know that because he even went to sleep. And as he was fast asleep, the waves started to come up. The wind started to blow. And there was even lightning, and the clouds got really, really dark. It must have been quite scary. I don't know if you've been inside when there's been a really big storm outside, and even that can be quite scary when you know that you're safe and sound. But imagine if you're out on a boat in the middle of a lake. And Jesus carried on sleeping. His disciples had to go and wake him up. They were terrified, even though they were great big fishermen who were quite used to being out on the lake. They woke Jesus up and they said, "Don't you care? We're going to drown. Please do something." Well, Jesus stood up, which must have been quite difficult, and he spoke out to the wind and the waves, and he said, "Be still." And the Bible tells us that straight away the wind calmed down and the waves became a lot smoother, and the boat was able to carry on its journey, and everybody was safe. Now, the disciples must have done a bit of this as well, because one minute they'd been absolutely terrified in a storm. The next minute Jesus had calmed the storm, and they were amazed, and they turned to each other and they said, "Who is this? This must be God, because the wind and the waves obey him. No one else can do that." And they went on their journey very, very thoughtfully. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but at the start of the story we said that Jesus told the disciples to go out into the boat, get in the boat and go out on the lake. And he was with them. And sometimes, even when we're following Jesus and even when we're Christians, we still get things which happen to us which can shake us a little bit, like when we're in a boat and the waves come. Sometimes bad things happen and we have things which are difficult to get through. When we follow Jesus, he doesn't promise to make everything a beautiful, calm sea forever. But what he does promise is that he will be with us, just like he's with those disciples. And so it's okay sometimes when we feel a bit scared or a bit worried about things, because life can be a bit like that sometimes. I'm sure if you ask your mums and dads, even grown-ups can sometimes get a bit scared. But the fantastic thing is that even in those times, Jesus is with us. And Jesus is the one who has the power to speak out to those things which are going on around us. And so we can trust him, and we can know that we'll be safe with him. Well, I'm going to say a prayer now, and I think it's really fantastic to be able to say thank you to Jesus that he's with us and he protects us. Heavenly Father, thank you for that story of how you calmed the storm. Thank you that you were with the disciples and they didn't need to be afraid. And thank you, Heavenly Father, that you're with us as we go through the storms of life. Thank you that we don't need to be scared, because we know that we've got you with us. Amen. Well, I hope you won't be scared about the crafts that we've got for this week. There are all sorts of activities for you to have a go at. There are some kind of tracing activities, and there's a memory game that you can play. We've got our colouring sheets as normal, and we've also got an activity, there's one of the colouring sheets, where you can colour and cut out the picture which looks like this. And if you get a piece of cardboard or a lollipop stick, you can pop that on the back, and then you'll need a piece of card that you then rip some blue paper and stick just down the sides. And the idea is then that you can pop your boat into the sea and you can make it go up and down, oops, as it moves along, all the way through the storm. Oops, that's got caught there. Yours will be a lot better than that. Anyway, I hope you have fun trying to make that or do some of the other activities, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. One thing for you to be thinking about, I know it's quite a long way off, but Christmas is coming, and we've asked people in the church and your mums and dads to have a think about what this year has brought them comfort and joy. It might be that you want to chat to your mums and dads about the things that have brought you joy this year, or the things that have brought you some comfort. And it would be great at some point if we could hear about some of those things, because we'd really like to use them as we look ahead to Christmas in one of our special Christmas services. So do get your thinking caps on, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Until then, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.